Yes, I believe I'm at war with the White Flayers. Hello, it's Trucker Joe, and I really hope these martyrs kill each other. Because I can't see my... Wait, is this a battle that can't be won? This might just be a battle that can't be won.
Listening. Listening. Receiving.
How many resources are there? I could build a craft to try to take them out, but the problem is it's one craft. So, yeah.
Receiving.
These are all in play right now. I'm going to pull you all out of play. And I want to send a couple of my forerunners. Not my intrepid, just a pair of forerunners. I want you here.
Moving now.
And I want you to come down to here. What's your top speed? 16 meters a second. We're 22 and 27. So we might be able to catch up with one of our forerunners, which is going to be good enough. I'm going to wait this out as much as I can. So yeah, I'm going to teleport to the Star Eye. I'm going to be in space, so there's no way I'm going back down. Oh, never mind, there's enough gravity. Tell me they actually have the means. See, already dealing damage to themselves. This is super good. Unfortunately, our craft is self-destructed. Because I'm pretty certain it doesn't have AI. I don't know. But yeah, I just want to buy as much time as possible. Besides, it's kind of fascinating to watch this. Yeah, the martyrs just kind of self-destructed or turned themselves over, which is probably going to hopefully hinder their speed a little. Yep, 2 damaged. So now, where are they going? Looks like they're reinforcing. So I'm going to call it.
Receiving. Moving now.
I'm going to call it here.
Moving now.
Tell them all to go to their own little place.
Oh, looks like we have a battle on our hands. So we're going to be able to deal with this, and then I'll send out a craft to repair the Star Eye, and I know exactly which design to use too. It does appear my forerunner has caught up. That's helpful.
Moving out.
I start this one moving. I'm really paranoid about this border now. I read that as Village of Reproach. That sounded kind of poetic.
Receiving.
I think we got this. They have a spike and a bunch of martyrs, so let's first take a look at what it is. The Forerunner hopefully will take out the spike, but I think the Retaliator is going to be the main target. In fact, the fact that we had a Retaliator didn't really register for a second. They definitely have a huge advantage. And a Retaliator, which I thought they didn't have for some reason. It does look like they're missing some shots. Yeah. Oh, really? Well, I don't even get to watch this battle. Oh, I could pause it, but it wouldn't help me. So, first off, I need to figure out what's going on here. And amidst all this chaos, we have this craft, which is heavily shielded, and I have no shield counters. Meanwhile, it looks like true bastions are going off, as I hoped. And the Intrepid is tanking a good deal of damage. But, from the looks of it, its shields are already failing. So, yeah. At best, I think I can slow them down. But they're going to go through and destroy everything I have. Yeah, we've been completely disarmed. But their weapons are reloaded. No, they're not. All the martyrs are dead, though. Okay. I actually didn't even realize how messed up this was. Like, we don't have the resources to spend to regenerate this. But it does look like that's what we're going to be spending it on, huh? The Intrepid is going to tank. I have a feeling we're about to lose it permanently. 83. Forerunner is about to die. Oh no. No! Okay, this is the lost battle. There is no hope left for us. We're disarmed. Cannons are already out of ammo. And yeah. We still have the underwater armaments. Yes, we still have our torpedoes, so we still have that. And we still have our surface launch missiles, which are being distracted by the flares. This one doesn't have its torpedoes anymore. It does appear some of our shots are landing though. They're Intrepid going to be able to manage to get the torpedoes out. Yeah. It is disappointing though. Oh right, we still have a spike. That's what it's firing at. Weird. Seems as though the spike is actually drawing the missiles from the main craft. Huh. Oh, the CMP is going to eventually just get to the AI. It's in a heavy armor block, which means that eventually it's going to disconnect. And because of the way I have this version armored, it's pretty thin armor. Plus it seems like all is lost. Forerunner's probably completely screwed. We're still firing missiles. Not that that matters. I'm guessing we're no longer able to fire our missiles. We're too damaged. Okay. And all this has done was guarantee the spy that they're going to be able to move even faster now. I'm not going to be able to catch them. Okay, so this is cleanup duty, isn't it? Okay, then here's what I need to do. So I need a song, and I'm going to want the fastest. Nope, I'm just going to send the song. Never mind. What I need is to go and perform an upgrade. Hydrotech?
Receiving.
Well, actually, technically, it's easier. Let's retrofit you to the... Not this. I want a... Where would it be? A mudkip.
Now the cool thing about the mudkip is that it's much faster than its previous version, and it's pretty cool. Unfortunately, we don't have an Intrepid anymore. I'm probably not going to replace it immediately. I'm probably going to focus on building up my numbers of smaller craft first, because they're now networked. Like a change to the design. In fact, this thing, the mudkip, is also networked. Anyway, with a speed like this and being able to hit speeds, especially on these calm waters, where it's just like we're gliding over the water, we're able to sustain speeds like 49.5 meters a second, no problem. And that should mean that we're 50 meters a second now. So we're going to pull you out of play. That's going to help me quite a bit. I'm likely going to return these blueprints here.
Moving now.
Well, if I wanted to kill the steel striders, I could just take their resources, and I have a very clear path forward, but I need to build up again. So, in that interest, let's actually spawn
Receiving.
these in, shall we?
Receiving.
So let's just play these.
Receiving.
Now I want to be on the song. Boing. I'm just like bouncing around. I can't wait for when I get to update her. It will be glorious. It'll be way better. She'll make a lot more sense. It is time to scrap my...
Receiving.
Like, it's time to scrap these. What I'm going to do is one of these is just going to get scrapped, and the other one is going to be destroyed.
Receiving.
I do like the Forerunners, but we need to start implementing our newer technology. I'm going to load a bunch of vehicles. So, the first vehicle I want to spawn in is this, the Primogenitor. Okay, I gotta turn my tail end towards it, and yep, that's all it took. Okay, so I'm going to do something I didn't do in a while, and that's going to be a montage. How about that? Now it just needs to reload. How much resources do we have left? Not quite enough for what I want to do next. I want to start work on a kobold, and I am not going... Because I can't possibly have all the resources I need for it. Well, let's see. So, let's see. Kobold. This is going to be my main DPS. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. There we go. We're out of resources, so yeah, as you can see, this thing is going to be kind of crazy when I finally get the chance. I have a main turret here, which has a good fire rate, and yeah, and this thing has railguns too. And then I have two smaller surface mount turrets, here and here, and underneath. If you can catch a glimpse of those red dots, I don't know if you can see them very well or not, but I have what are clearly mounting points for torpedo systems. This thing basically has a higher amount of DPS and trades. It trades missiles for torpedoes, so it's like an anti-sub kind of thing. I may like change it or make a variant that is more like a Primogenitor in that it has missiles, but the difficulty with that is that I'd practically have to just replace one of the cannons entirely with one of these, which I don't know if I should show you like this. Let me do it like this. So like I won't be able to spawn it in, but like where would it be? Not the Hellfire. That would be Ballista. One of these, which is a pretty obvious missile turret. And I would just replace it, one of the guns with this and remove the torpedo systems entirely, so it would look more like this, I would say. This thing is really good. It has good burst damage, but it is a shield buster, which means its overall damage output is low, but it will shred through shields, and it does have a little bit of backup damage. I do have two possible shell types that I could choose. There's the squash heads and the disruptor conduits. The squash heads are more DPS oriented, so it's the same kind of shell that I fire from the the Forerunners, and the disruptor conduits are my shield busting shells. Since these are being operated in a fleet, I'm going to use the shield busters. So yeah, on top of this I have the kobold here, which these cannons will not have the sheer amount of DPS or shield busting potential, for sure, but it has a much more sustainable fire rate and the ability to keep fighting, and I don't have to worry about reloading, which is a big deal. In long drawn out fights, this thing will eventually run out. So for example, in a matchup like the Assimilator versus the Retaliator, that's going to be long and drawn out. Usually the side turrets start to run out of ammo. Or, well, usually, like in that battle, the true bastions would run out. Of course, this is the true bastion too, which I modified it to have, well, I don't know if you can see it, but, oh, that's not right. So as you can see here, I removed the neck, and in place of the neck, I'm able to have 2 more loaders than usual, which is what I did with this. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go and look into my thing with this. Yeah, the tons of resources have been spent. The Aegis is done. So now what I want is the Aegis. I'm going to start setting it to take resources. And this way I can have all the resources based on this vehicle, the Aegis, which should be able to easily get away from anything that's not Scarlet Dawn. So we have that.
Listening.
So yeah.
Receiving. Receiving.
Now the Kobold's complete. An amazing thing about this design is that it's pretty, like, it's going to be ready no matter how I build it. So now I want to build out a tadpole, even though we can barely afford one. And what these guys do is that they're basically going to be sensor platforms.
Receiving.
So we're going to just pull everyone out.
Receiving.
And I'll put the tadpole here, and you're allowed to repair. Anyway, we're getting our first attack force. Okay, so we got a Terravolt, an Eclipse, and an and they're traveling at 22 meters a second. I didn't know that they could do this, so what I want is, I want the song here, and I want the Kobold to probably be out here, or not quite. The Primogenitor is going to bring up the middle and be kind of here, but like concave. So this is our first true battle with them. This is exciting. If we can manage to build the tadpole, its first demonstration shall be in combat. Ah, the tadpole's incomplete. Okay.
Moving now.
In that case, move the song back forward.
Moving now.
And
Receiving.
we'll move this slightly back so that they are still sharing the resources.
Receiving.
What we're going to do is
Receiving.
this. So we want to kind of have them in a pincer if we can. So
Receiving.
I want the Kobold kind of like this.
Receiving.
And I want the Primogenitor kind of like this. The song, I want her to an angle. I'm going to wait out the night here, and then we'll see. Okay, so let's start. So, our shells are starting to land home. The song isn't going to be easily hit with missiles. From the looks of this, we're doing all right, but I don't know if we don't have smoke. But we don't have smoke installed because I forgot. Okay, we do have smoke installed on the Kobold, though, and then you can see some of the smoke it left behind. Similar thing with the Primogenitor, which that was just the Primogenitor. We've managed to deal significant damage here. Also, the song better have... yeah, the song is hitting it with its keep-away cannons. And it does appear that we're dealing enough damage. Yeah. It does appear their hydrofoil's been like shot up. I am kind of tempted to start the thing, but we don't have the money. So, by the looks of it, we've already disabled their main craft's weapons, which is good. I don't really want to risk trying to capture it, although that is a lot of resources.
Engaging now.
Yeah, it's only being hit by simple cannons, so I'm going to try for it. Just kind of watch in the distance. Their lasers playing against our holes. Our smoke deploying. And my hope for an AI dead thing. Also, I have the death ray. I should remove that, shouldn't I? Come on. Does look like we're getting it. And now I'm skimming the water, so yeah. I can use the binos to help. Huh. That makes sense. Okay. I want... You're not going to be captured by me, are you? I mean, if I can like snag it and get some of the resources. I didn't... Okay, that was a lost cause, unfortunately. So let's go and take a look at how this battle is taking a turn for the worst. I've taken a lot of damage, but it's mostly cosmetic, as... Well, it's almost... Like, it's almost not cosmetic damage, though. It's almost severe. But we have not lost a single weapon yet. The Kobold is still operating. It has not taken any significant damage thanks to the smoke dispensers, and the Primogenitor is completely untouched aside from the barrel. So yeah, I would say the fight's going favorably. It does appear we've run out of ammunition, and it's also starting to cross paths. So now their main laser craft. Yep. Not all too much we can do. But it does appear we have managed to land it. Yeah, there was no way I could have snagged that. So we won handily with slight amounts of damage. Primogenitor will survive. The Kobold's pretty much already repaired. And the Song is going to need to repair armor. All in all, I'm quite happy with how this turned out. So we'll repair these and bring them back. So I want to end this off showing off the tadpole. Does appear to be here. And now let's play this, and I'll demonstrate it and talk about it just a little bit. Now this thing isn't the most efficient thing, and I'll just mention this because I literally have used every tiny bit of space I could cram into this. Like its biggest, like its shields are always running, therefore its engine's always going to be running. Right now it's actually recharging rails, so that's going to take a while, but then after that it should be fine. So yeah, in fact the only ACB on this ship is to set the hydrofoil angle to 20, which this is here to ensure if that it is efficient enough in propulsion to be able to maintain the guns. In fact, without those hydrofoils, it actually would max out its power usage, and so I cut corners. So let's just kind of peel the armor back and take a look. So yeah, so it has enough ammo to sustainably fire, which I'm happy about. In here it has a it has a fairly heavily armored AI, which it's surrounded by stone, and then the upper and lower deck plating is metal. It has a layer of heavy armor here, then it goes to metal, and then it's done. This thing is very vulnerable to heat, but hopefully that doesn't come into play too much. It also has no shielding on the main craft, nor does it have any kind of ability to block lasers. So for that, it relies on just the fact that it's small and insignificant, that other craft aren't necessarily going to target it. I honestly don't know though. It's probably still going to be shot at, just because the lightning hoods have far too many turrets for them to be able to ignore this thing, and that it's eventually going to get in a situation where they can fire at it because there's no one else to fire at. The biggest, most important feature of this aren't even the two cannons, which are decent enough to, like, they're the same as on the Kobold, but the most important feature is actually this sensor turret, which, since my craft are now going to be networked, is able to provide telemetry for the other vessels, and it's very accurate telemetry. So yeah, anyway, that's my fleet, and yeah.
Receiving. Moving now.
Like, so far, like, with these designs, I should be able to dominate fairly effectively. I'm thinking of making a modification of the tadpole that does provide laser defense by shooting smoke rounds. Like, I feel like that would be the best option. On top of that, I did create a new design recently, and it's not going to replace the Intrepid, but it is going to do well in the campaign, should I load it, but it needs open space, so I would consider a design like this to be like in the lower quadrant only, so it'll be the equivalent of the song basically. Aegis evidently has managed to pull off a huge haul of resources. Already, we'll be able to afford to replace the Intrepid in the next episode, hopefully. Maybe after I build another Kobold. Down here, I guess. So yeah, anyway, see ya.